I am the true alpha male, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero. Here's the deal. I understand. When you look at the videos leading up to when this one was published, you saw me with my hair pushed back, showing my receding hairline more than this, and even hear me talking about how my plan after COVID-19 ends and we can all get haircuts again, that I'm planning to change this hairstyle into more of that other one that you saw. Like, for example, in the most recent, like the way I had my hairstyle was a good idea of a preview of where I plan to go with my hairstyle when I'm able to get a haircut again, whenever that is. And then I start out this video and then I'm back to the faux Norwood 1.5 thing. And because someone did ask, they said, Nick, I want to see what your hair looks like with no product in it. So this is no product. This is just towel dried. I didn't blow dry it. When I blow dry it, that's when it kind of forces it into that push back, slick back look. But this is just zero maintenance. This is, I got out of the shower and this is what it looks like. It's been 4 weeks or so since I had the last haircut where it was a number 2 on the sides and the back with the disconnected part. Now that's starting to grow out and turn into more of what some may call, the 40-year-old Jewish accountant look, is what some people have said. So while making videos while wearing this shirt, you'll see my hair this way. With that being said, it's not to say that I'm not still planning to morph into that other hairstyle. So what I thought would be cool and weird, because let's face it, all of these videos are super weird, is I'm doing my own personal collection of pictures of men with the concept of the hairstyle that I want to work towards when I finally do get another haircut. So these are people I found online. Some of them I know. Some of them showed up in my suggested feed on Facebook as a suggested friend. And I look at, oh, that's the haircut. So then I saved the photo. That's hilarious. But for me, when that time comes, I want to do this thing right. I mean, man, when we have to wait this long for a haircut, I want to do it right. So actually, I'm going to start with someone who is a celebrity, Michael Malice. He's a Jewish American. So that's what I was thinking. Joe Rogan Experience. That's how I know about this guy. I think he's a little bit older than me. I think he probably has some similar genetic background because he is officially Jewish. I'm unofficially Jewish on my mom's side through Spain, that sort of thing. And I think that's important because it's interesting when you're looking at who to model your next hairstyle after. You want to make sure you kind of look like that person to some degree because it's like you trying that hairstyle on. So Michael Malice, who I only heard about him through Joe Rogan Experience. He's been on there multiple times. I'm going to show you, I think I've got 2 pictures of him. So here's a photo of him on Joe Rogan. If I can get that to not be blurry. There we go. There you go. Bam, got it. So see that? Let's talk about that for a minute. I don't know, is that what, 2 inches on top? Whereas mine right now is at least 2.5. It looks like a zero guard, not connected. I really like that. I think that's pretty cool and pretty edgy. Now what I'm gonna try is and I know the camera may be a little confused here as I'm trying to go back and forth. It's finding these photos here. Then here's another one. I guess he's a podcaster too. Just here's another angle, not quite as good as that last one, but just kind of showing you what we're seeing here. In my opinion, I understand. I feel that my hairline goes back more than his. I think he's an interesting person in that his hairline, his temples go back further, but his hairline is more straight across. But still, I think it would be interesting and relevant to have a hairstyle like that where it's disconnected and zero part. I think I could make it work despite my hairline being a V shape and his being straight across. My temples don't go back as far as his. And I think there's enough going there. I could probably make that work. I think we're gonna see. Now, as far as Facebook pictures, this is so hilarious to me. So this guy just showed up as a suggested feed, like in my feed as a friend. So I'm actually gonna zoom in on his hairstyle here. He's a pastor of a church, I guess, here in Tennessee. So there we go, here's this guy. So guy looks a bit younger than me, but you notice what's different with this hairstyle is his hair, the part ultimately by default comes up higher on his head. More so almost like a wider mohawk, if anything, which helps his hairline look straight across. Or it could just be the shape of his head, but that's something I'm also considering. Whereas I'm just looking at multiple versions of making my own version work when the right time comes. And then lastly, I hope he doesn't see this. This is the actual pastor of my own church. And his photos are everywhere online. Mark Rampolla of Southview Church in Tennessee, where I am. And so I'm going to zoom in on a couple of pictures here of him. And I think he's mid 40s, whereas I'm a week away from turning 39. So this is the pastor of my church right here. And this is how he has his hair. His wife actually cuts his hair. And it's, zero on the sides, it looks like, and then probably a little bit shorter and cut into almost kind of a faux hawk sort of style. So there's that. Let me show you another one here. I think I've got 3 of him. I mean, like, he's just very easy to Google image. All right, here's him, I guess, preaching in our church here. Here's from the side. This would be from the side that's not the part side. And then lastly, here's another one that's showing from the side. So I feel like his is a little bit more of a mohawk look, shorter than mine, but still kind of dealing with that. The sides don't really seem to be connected. So I think that's interesting. I think it's really cool. I want to totally embrace moving up my part, because by default, this is the beginnings of a comb over hairstyle when it gets this long. As Maxwell Smart, our resident barber, has already pointed out, this is that slippery slope of becoming the comb over. So when you lift up my flap, there's my hairline. It goes back that far this way. And it's not that I want to hide it. It's just I want to make a hairstyle that's low maintenance. And this is low maintenance, but now that it's getting this long and it's making me want a haircut, but then we have the flap start to kind of come down, and it's like it scratches my forehead. And that's actually the thing I don't like about it at this point. I mean, as far as what it does for the appearance of my hairline, it makes it look like I said, maybe a Norwood 1.5. If you didn't know better, if I didn't, quote, lift up the flap. That sounds like a horrible hashtag. Hashtag lift up the flap right there. But I am okay with recognizing, and moving the part, as Maxwell Smart says, up here, which is going to make me go from a Norwood 1.5 to looking closer to the 2.5 that actually I'm not quite 3, but Norwood 2.5. So if it were like that on both sides, but then we would have ultimately like that one younger pastor where all of this is gone. It's almost like I'm in between of a mohawk and parting your hair. So those are things I'm looking for, and I think that's very important. And ultimately, that's a takeaway in this video, which for you is, as you're thinking about changing hairstyles, or if you're thinking like I am, like, man, when I can finally get a haircut again, what I want to do? It's very important, I say, to get pictures to take to the person who cut your hair, because you can describe something, but it may not come out the way you expected. And yes, head shapes and hairlines and all that, even facial features, can make one hairstyle look completely different on you. I mean, that's common sense and common knowledge. But I think it's a good idea, just on your phone, you find pictures online, you just hold it in and then save the phone and put it in a folder, and then you can say, hey, and for me, I mean, there's 3 different men. I can say, I want something that's like this, that's gonna work for me, with the real estate I have, with the hairline I have, and the head shape I have, and the type of hair I have, and the level of density I have. What can you do with this? And I've done that my whole life as far as hairstyles go. I always ask, what can you do based on this? And granted, you want to have multiple pictures from different angles, which I did. Like my own pastor there, I had an angle from each side, and then I had one from the front as well. So there you go. That's what I'm working towards. But it may be easy to forget that, because I'm planning to make several videos after this one while having my hair still like this, while wearing this shirt, and you'll think, make up your mind, Nick. Well, I mean, I am making up my mind. I'm helping to decide that. And as we know, it's a character arc. To keep people hooked on my videos, in addition to them already being obsessed with hair loss, the other thing is people like to see me change. They like to see me physically change. It's like a new season of a new show every time I change my hairstyle. So it is very important, more so for you than it actually is for me, but it keeps me relevant in this whole hair loss talk. Your comments belong right here.